Have you ever stood up from your favorite armchair and for a fleeting, terrifying moment, your legs trembled, refusing to obey? Perhaps you've dismissed the growing stiffness in your knees as an inevitable toll of time, or chalked up that nagging leg fatigue to simply getting older. We are conditioned to believe that a decline in mobility, balance, and strength is a non-negotiable part of the aging process. But what if I told you that a significant part of this decline might not be dictated by the number on your birth certificate, but by the vibrant, colorful, and supposedly healthy contents of your fruit bowl? This is a truth that flies in the face of conventional wisdom, a secret hidden in plain sight on our kitchen counters and in our refrigerators. We are here today to pull back the curtain on a surprising and often overlooked contributor to leg weakness, joint pain, and balance issues in adults over 60. We are talking about fruits. That's right, certain fruits, consumed in ways our younger bodies could easily handle, can quietly and systematically drain your leg strength, exacerbate joint inflammation, and make the simple acts of walking, standing, or climbing stairs a monumental challenge. The most unsettling part? These are not exotic, rare fruits. They are staples in homes across the country, celebrated for their health benefits, and enjoyed daily without a second thought. You might have had one with your breakfast this very morning. However, the purpose of this deep dive is not to create fear, but to foster empowerment. The moment you understand why and how certain foods affect your body differently after the age of 60, you reclaim control. You can begin making small, intelligent adjustments that protect your legs, stabilize your balance, and potentially restore a level of energy and freedom you thought was lost forever. So, if you or a loved one has ever felt your legs giving out too soon, noticed your balance feels less certain, or struggled with persistent aches and stiffness, then this journey is for you. You are not inherently weak. You are not helpless. You may simply be consuming foods in a way that no longer serves the unique, sophisticated needs of your body. Let's unravel these hidden truths together and build a new foundation for strength and vitality. 1. The banana conundrum, when a potassium powerhouse becomes a problem. The banana is arguably the world's most convenient health food. Encased in its own biodegradable wrapper, it's a staple in cereal bowls, a star in smoothies, and a go-to lunchbox filler. For decades, we've been taught to revere it as a perfect fruit, brimming with heart-healthy potassium, easy on the digestive system, and a quick source of energy. But for individuals navigating their 60s, 70s, and 80s, the unexamined habit of consuming multiple bananas a day could be a hidden trap, subtly undermining the very leg strength you're trying to preserve. The core of the issue lies in its most celebrated nutrient, potassium. Potassium is an essential electrolyte, a mineral that carries an electric charge and is absolutely critical for nerve function, muscle contractions, and maintaining a steady heartbeat. The problem is not potassium itself, but the body's shifting ability to manage it. As we age, our kidneys, the master filters of our bloodstream, naturally become less efficient. They work a bit slower, and their ability to excrete excess minerals, including potassium, can diminish. When we consume more potassium than our aging kidneys can process, it can accumulate in the blood, leading to a condition called hyperkalemia. While severe hyperkalemia is a serious medical emergency, mild chronic hyperkalemia can manifest in ways that are easily misdiagnosed as simple signs of aging. And what is one of the primary telltale symptoms? Muscle weakness, particularly in the legs. Instead of helping your muscles contract powerfully, the excess potassium disrupts the delicate electrical signaling between nerves and muscle cells. This can feel like profound fatigue, a sense of shakiness or instability in your legs, and even numbness or tingling in your feet and hands. You might find yourself needing to sit down halfway through a grocery shopping trip, or feeling that your legs just don't have the get up and go they used to. The banana itself isn't a villain. A single medium-sized banana a day is unlikely to cause a problem for most healthy seniors. The danger lies in stacking. Do you start your day with a banana sliced over your oatmeal, have another as a mid-morning snack, and then blend one into an afternoon smoothie? This is where the risk multiplies, especially if that smoothie also contains other high-potassium ingredients like spinach or coconut water, or if your dinner includes a baked potato. Without realizing it, you could be pushing your potassium levels into a zone that compromises your muscular function. Consider the story of Howard, a vibrant 74-year-old who prided himself on his daily morning walks. Suddenly, his walks became a struggle. His legs felt heavy, almost like they were moving through wet cement, and he had to cut his route shorter and shorter. He was frustrated, attributing it to a rapid, unexplained decline in his fitness. A thorough checkup with his doctor, however, revealed surprisingly high potassium levels. The culprit was not a medication or a kidney disease, but his healthy diet. He was consuming 3 bananas a day, every single day, believing he was supporting his heart health. Once he cut his intake back to just a few bananas a week and diversified his fruit choices, his leg strength and stamina began to return within a few weeks. Howard's story is a powerful reminder that healthy is not a one-size-fits-all label. It must be tailored to your body's current needs and capabilities. Furthermore, let's not forget the sugar. Bananas are high in natural sugars, and while they are bundled with fiber, overconsumption can still lead to frequent blood sugar spikes. For an older body that may already be dealing with some degree of insulin resistance, these repeated spikes and subsequent crashes contribute to a state of low-grade systemic inflammation. This isn't the acute inflammation of a sprained ankle, it's a slow, simmering fire that can settle in your joints. If your knees feel particularly stiff and achy when you get out of bed, or you notice more swelling in your joints after a day on your feet, the sugar from your healthy fruit habit could be silently fanning those flames. Understanding this potassium paradox is the first crucial step toward protecting your strength. That was the first piece of the puzzle. If you found this insight about bananas useful and plan to be more mindful, please comment with the number 1 below to let us know. Your feedback helps us understand what resonates most with you. 2. The grape deception, a sweet snack with a sour aftermath. They are the perfect bite-sized snack, sweet, juicy, and effortlessly easy to eat. A bowl of chilled grapes on a warm afternoon feels like a light, harmless indulgence. Yet, these seemingly innocent orbs, especially the common seedless varieties, might be one of the most deceptive fruits when it comes to the health and strength of your legs after 60. The problem is a trio of concerns that work in concert: a potent sugar load, a high concentration of pesticide residues, and their profound effect on bodily inflammation. First, let's talk about the sugar. Grapes are exceptionally high in fructose, a type of sugar that the liver metabolizes very quickly. When you eat a large handful of grapes, you're delivering a rapid-fire dose of sugar into your bloodstream. This causes a sharp spike in blood glucose, prompting your pancreas to release a surge of insulin to manage it. What follows this spike is an inevitable crash, leaving you feeling tired, foggy, and often craving more sugar. For an older adult, this blood sugar roller coaster isn't just a fleeting feeling of fatigue. Over time, it contributes to insulin resistance, a condition where your cells become less responsive to insulin signals. This state is a known precursor to chronic fatigue and directly weakens the very muscles you rely on for mobility and balance. Your legs begin to feel heavy and unresponsive, not because of age, but because of a metabolic system thrown off balance. Have you ever experienced that mid-afternoon slump after what you thought was a healthy snack? Share your experience in the comments section below. Your story could help someone else connect the dots. The second and perhaps more insidious issue is pesticides. According to environmental health advocacy groups, grapes consistently rank among the fruits with the highest levels of pesticide contamination. Unless you are exclusively purchasing certified organic grapes, each delicious bite may be coated with a cocktail of chemical residues. While regulatory bodies deem these levels safe for consumption, the long-term cumulative effect of these chemicals on an aging body is a subject of growing concern. Some of these compounds are known endocrine disruptors, meaning they can interfere with the body's delicate hormone balance. More critically, they can act as triggers for low-grade systemic inflammation. For an older adult, this inflammation doesn't just manifest as temporary soreness. It becomes a chronic condition, settling deep within the tissues and joints, particularly in the hips, knees, and ankles. Suddenly, everyday movements that were once effortless, like standing up from a low chair or bending down to tie your shoes, feel stiff, painful, and laborious. It's a slow, creeping disability that many mistake for arthritis or old age, never suspecting the bowl of conventional grapes they enjoy daily. Take the case of Louise, a 78-year-old woman from Michigan who adored her afternoon bowl of grapes. Over the course of a year, she developed persistent, painful swelling in her knees that made walking a dreaded activity. Physical therapy provided only temporary relief. It was only after a consultation with a nutritionally minded physician that the grapes came under suspicion. Her doctor suggested she eliminate the grapes completely and switch to a daily handful of organic blueberries, which are known for their powerful anti-inflammatory properties. The change was remarkable. Within a month, the swelling in her knees had visibly subsided, the pain diminished, and her sense of balance and confidence on her feet returned. Louise's story illustrates that inflammation is a sneaky saboteur, often driven not by obvious junk food, but by healthy foods we never think to question. And if you're consuming grapes in their dried form as raisins, the problems are concentrated and compounded. Drying the fruit removes the water, leaving behind a much denser package of sugar that sticks to your teeth. This feeds harmful oral bacteria, which can lead to gum disease and inflammation in the mouth. Modern science has established a startlingly direct link between oral inflammation and systemic inflammation throughout the body, a pathway that has even been connected to weakened physical function, including leg strength in older adults. This information about grapes is often surprising to many. If you're finding these insights valuable and they're making you rethink your fruit choices, please support our channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video that could change your health for the better. 3. The watermelon paradox, drowning in dehydration. On a sweltering summer day, is there anything more refreshing than a cold, crisp slice of watermelon? It's the very essence of hydration, sweet, juicy, and celebrated for being over 90% water. Many older adults, especially those trying to avoid salty snacks or sugary sodas, turn to watermelon as a healthy way to quench their thirst and satisfy a sweet tooth. But here lies a dangerous paradox. Relying heavily on watermelon for hydration can quietly backfire, leading to a state of cellular dehydration that directly impacts muscle strength and stability in your legs. How can a fruit made mostly of water be dehydrating? The answer is in what it lacks. While watermelon provides an abundance of water, the rest of it is primarily sugar. It is surprisingly low in the critical electrolytes your body needs to actually absorb and retain that water within its cells. The most important of these are sodium and magnesium. Your muscles are like tiny biological batteries that require a precise balance of water and electrolytes to function. Think of sodium as the gatekeeper that allows water to enter your muscle cells and stay there. When you consume large amounts of a high-water, low-electrolyte fruit like watermelon, you are essentially flushing your system without replenishing the minerals needed to hold onto that fluid at a cellular level. So, ironically, while you feel quenched in the moment, your muscle cells may be losing a net amount of fluid. This cellular dehydration is a massive deal for aging legs. When the cells in your leg muscles are deprived of adequate fluid, they cannot contract efficiently. This leads to cramps, profound weakness, and a pervasive sense of fatigue. Seniors often describe this as having wobbly legs or feeling profoundly unsteady on their feet, yet few would ever dream of connecting this frightening sensation to their favorite summer fruit. This issue is magnified if you're also consciously restricting your salt intake, as many older adults are advised to do. A high intake of a natural diuretic like watermelon, combined with a low-sodium diet, can dilute the sodium levels in your blood, a condition known as hyponatremia. This can cause a significant drop in blood pressure, making you feel dizzy, lightheaded, and disoriented, especially when you stand up quickly. For a senior, this dizziness dramatically increases the risk of a devastating fall. I remember a woman named Susan, 82 years old and sharp as a tack, who was plagued by a debilitating fatigue that would hit her every afternoon. She had diligently given up all salty snacks and, in their place, started snacking on a large bowl of watermelon 3 or 4 times a day, believing it was the pinnacle of healthy choices. But her legs felt progressively weaker, and she had suffered 2 falls in a single month. A routine checkup revealed her sodium levels were dangerously low. Her doctor immediately adjusted her diet, cutting back the excessive watermelon and reintroducing moderate amounts of electrolytes and protein-rich snacks. The transformation was swift. Her balance improved, her afternoon energy returned, and her confidence was restored. There's another critical concern: watermelon's glycemic index. Despite its high water content, watermelon has a high glycemic index, meaning its sugar is absorbed very rapidly, causing a sharp and immediate spike in your blood sugar. For an older adult whose system may already struggle with blood sugar regulation, these repeated spikes over time can inflict damage on the delicate lining of blood vessels. This impairs circulation, particularly to the extremities, like your legs and feet. Impaired circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching your muscle tissues, resulting in a slow, silent, and progressive drain on their strength and resilience. So, while a single slice of watermelon on occasion is a delightful treat, viewing it as a primary source of hydration or a go-to daily snack can set the stage for mineral imbalances, cellular dehydration, poor circulation, and a greater risk of falls. This was the third hidden danger in the fruit bowl. If this explanation of the watermelon paradox has given you a new perspective on hydration, please show your engagement by commenting with the number 3 below. It's incredibly motivating to see you learning with us. 4. The apple's hidden acid test, corroding strength from within. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. This age-old adage is etched into our collective consciousness. Apples are the quintessential health food, portable, satisfyingly crunchy, and lauded for their fiber content, which aids digestion and heart health. But what this simple saying fails to capture is the nuanced reality of how our bodies change with time. If you are over 60 and your leg strength is a growing concern, a daily habit of multiple apples may be quietly working against you, not through an obvious mechanism, but through the subtle yet powerful forces of nutrient displacement and acid load. Let's begin with what apples lack. While they are a good source of fiber and natural sugars, they are surprisingly low in the powerhouse nutrients that directly build and maintain strong legs: protein, magnesium, and calcium. Protein is the fundamental building block of muscle tissue. Magnesium is essential for muscle contraction and relaxation, preventing cramps and spasms. Calcium is vital for bone density, providing the very frame your muscles operate from. If apples become your default snack, one in the morning, another in the afternoon, they can end up displacing other foods your body desperately need. This is the concept of appetite displacement. For older adults, who often have smaller appetites and eat less overall, this is a critical issue. Every calorie consumed needs to be as nutrient-dense as possible. If a bulky, fibrous apple fills you up, you may not feel hungry for a protein-rich snack like Greek yogurt or a handful of magnesium-packed almonds later on. Over time, this can lead to a net deficit in the very nutrients required to prevent sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass. Once you begin to lose muscle in your legs, the process can snowball with alarming speed. Weaker legs lead to less activity, such as walking or climbing stairs, and less activity accelerates muscle loss even further. It's a vicious cycle that can severely impact independence. But there is a deeper, more clandestine issue at play: acidity. Apples, like many fruits, are acid-forming in the body. For a young, robust system, this is not a problem. The body has highly efficient buffering systems, primarily involving the kidneys and lungs, to maintain a stable, slightly alkaline pH in the blood. However, as we age, this ability to buffer excess acid can weaken. When the diet is consistently high in acid-forming foods, yes, even from healthy sources like apples, the body may be forced to find another way to neutralize that acid. It does so by pulling alkaline minerals from its own reserves. And where is the body's largest reservoir of alkaline minerals? Your bones, and to a lesser extent, your muscles. This process leaches out calcium and magnesium, two of the most crucial minerals for leg strength and skeletal stability. Over years, this low-grade metabolic acidosis can contribute to both osteoporosis, weak bones, and weaker, more cramp-prone muscles. Consider George, a 78-year-old man who swore by his apple habit. He ate 2 to 3 a day, convinced they were the key to his good digestion. Yet, he was increasingly baffled by frequent leg cramps at night and a new, frustrating difficulty in getting up from his favorite armchair. When a nutritionist reviewed his daily food log, the pattern became clear. The apples were not only displacing vital protein snacks, but were also contributing to a highly acidic dietary load. The solution wasn't to eliminate apples, but to create balance. He reduced his intake to 1 apple a day and made a conscious effort to swap his second apple for a small bowl of cottage cheese or a hard-boiled egg. A few months later, the cramps had subsided, and he reported feeling much stronger and more stable when standing up. This doesn't mean apples are harmful. The key, as always, is intelligent consumption. A single apple a day remains a healthy choice. The secret is to not let it crowd out the foods your legs truly need to thrive, and to consciously pair it with something that helps balance its effects. Enjoy your apple with a small slice of cheese or a handful of walnuts. This simple combination not only adds protein and healthy fats, but also helps neutralize the acid load, providing your muscles with the support they need. Your legs will thank you for this small but powerful adjustment. The knowledge that even a simple apple needs to be balanced is a game changer. If you're still with us and finding these deep dives valuable, please comment with the number 4 below to let us know you're here. And if you haven't yet, we invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell. Your support helps us continue to create content that informs and empowers. 5. The pineapple puzzle, a tropical treat that can trigger trouble. The vibrant tropical sweetness of pineapple is a delight to the senses. Its tangy flavor and soft, juicy texture make it a popular treat, especially for older adults who might find harder fruits difficult to chew. It's packed with vitamin C and often enjoyed with the belief that it aids digestion. However, if your legs are already prone to feeling heavy, swollen, or achy, particularly around the ankles and knees, pineapple might be an unsuspected contributor, making a bad situation worse through a combination of enzymatic action and fluid imbalance. The key agent in pineapple is a unique enzyme called bromelain. Bromelain is a complex substance with a dual nature. In small, controlled amounts, it can act as a digestive aid by helping to break down proteins. This is why it's often marketed in supplement form. However, when consumed in larger quantities from the fruit itself, bromelain, combined with pineapple's high natural acidity, can be irritating to the lining of the stomach and mouth. More relevant to our discussion, bromelain has a mild blood-thinning effect. For some seniors, especially those already on anticoagulant medication, this can lead to more noticeable bruising from minor bumps or a longer recovery time from small cuts and scrapes, particularly on the vulnerable skin of the lower legs. But the more significant issue for leg health is pineapple's 1-2 punch of high sugar and a potent diuretic effect. A diuretic is a substance that promotes urination. This might initially sound like a good thing, especially if you struggle with fluid retention. It helps me pee out the excess water, some might say. But the body's fluid dynamics are far more complex than that. If you are promoting fluid loss through urination without adequately replenishing your system with water and, crucially, essential minerals like potassium and magnesium, your body can initiate a compensatory response. Fearing dehydration, it may start to retain more fluid in its tissues, particularly in the lower extremities where circulation is already slower. The result is paradoxical. The very fruit you thought would reduce bloating is now contributing to puffy feet, aching calves, and that heavy, sluggish feeling in your legs after standing or sitting for too long. Your socks leave deeper marks on your ankles, and your shoes feel tighter by the end of the day. There's also a powerful psychological trap at play. Because pineapple is universally seen as healthy, many people consume it without moderation. I have met several individuals who, in an effort to improve their health, started adding a large bowl of pineapple to their breakfast or as a post-dinner dessert every single day. They believed they were helping their digestion or boosting their vitamin intake, only to find themselves puzzled by their increasingly tight, heavy, and tired legs. One gentleman, Harold, age 79, provides a poignant example. He loved canned pineapple chunks and would eat a small bowl every night before bed. Harold also had mild heart and kidney issues, which already made his body's fluid management system more sensitive. A sharp-eyed geriatric nurse noticed the connection between his nightly habit and his persistent leg swelling. She suggested a simple swap: replace the nightly pineapple with a small handful of mixed berries and add a tiny pinch of mineral-rich Himalayan salt to his daily water. In less than 2 weeks, the change was dramatic. His leg swelling visibly decreased, he could walk to the mailbox without his calves aching, and his shoes finally fit comfortably again. The body, after 70, operates like a finely tuned, delicate machine. A seemingly small imbalance in its inputs, be it sugar, water, or minerals, can disrupt circulation and fluid balance in ways that were never an issue in younger years. Pineapple, while delicious and nutritious in moderation, can be a potent part of that imbalance if you are not mindful. If your legs have felt heavier lately, or you've noticed swelling that you can't explain, it might be time to look beyond your salt shaker and consider the fruits on your plate. This concludes our analysis of the 5 surprising fruits. Do you have any personal experiences with pineapple or leg swelling? Sharing your story in the comments could provide invaluable insight for others in our community. For so many of us, the journey through life has been accompanied by a simple, unwavering belief: fruit is good for you. Period. No questions asked. We were taught that it is nature's candy, a guilt-free source of vitamins and vitality. But as we've explored today, the story becomes far more nuanced and complex after the age of 60. Our bodies evolve, becoming more sensitive, more selective, and far less forgiving of the excesses and imbalances we once tolerated with ease. This new reality demands a new level of wisdom and self-awareness, even concerning the healthiest foods in our diet. The 5 fruits we've discussed, bananas, grapes, watermelon, apples, and pineapple, are not inherently bad. The true culprits are often hidden in the context: excessive quantity, poor timing, and a lack of balance. Leg strength is not merely a product of exercise or a casualty of age. It is a direct reflection of the intricate, invisible processes happening inside our bodies every single day. The slow simmering fire of chronic inflammation, the roller coaster of blood sugar swings, the precarious balance of essential minerals, and the efficiency of our circulation. These are the silent architects of our mobility. And as we've seen, they can show up first in our legs. A little more swelling in the ankles, a little less stamina on the stairs, a bit more stiffness when rising from a chair. If you are noticing these subtle but significant signals, your fruit bowl may indeed be one of the quiet contributors. But here is the most powerful and hopeful message of all. This knowledge is not a sentence, it is a key. It unlocks the door to proactive change. You do not have to surrender to weakness or resign yourself to a life of limited mobility. By making small, intelligent shifts in your daily habits, swapping one fruit for another, pairing a sugary fruit with a protein, focusing on better hydration with electrolytes, and simply paying attention to how different foods make you feel, you can profoundly alter the trajectory of your physical well-being. You don't have to give up everything you love. You simply need to learn your body's new rules and honor them with mindful choices. Take a moment to look at your breakfast routine, your go-to snacks. Think about what you choose and how your body, especially your legs, feels an hour or 2 later. Does that choice leave you feeling energized and light or heavy and sluggish? That small, consistent act of self-awareness is the first and most critical step towards reclaiming your strength, your confidence, and your independence for years to come. Thank you for joining us on this deep and important journey today. We truly believe this information can make a difference, and we would love to hear from you. After all this analysis, what is the single most important lesson you've learned for yourself? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Reading your personal takeaways gives us immense motivation and encouragement to continue this work. If you enjoyed this video and found it genuinely helpful, please show your support by giving it a like, subscribing to our channel, and most importantly, sharing it with a friend or family member who might benefit. Your support is what allows us to continue creating good, honest content designed to inform and inspire. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.